Ilia Topuria versus Charles Oliveira is the biggest possible fight in the UFC right now, given that we did not get Jones versus Aspinall and we have not gotten Topuria versus Makhachev yet. Now, this is yet another vacant lightweight belt. The last person to win the lightweight belt actually in the cage was Conor McGregor at UFC 205. Since then, Khabib, Charles Oliveira, Islam Makhachev technically, and now the winner of this fight will all win a vacant belt. So we don't have a lineal champion at lightweight in the UFC. This is still the biggest possible fight that the UFC has to make right now. The card is relatively weak, but in this video, we're going to be doing a breakdown and prediction for the UFC 317 main event. I'm Wyatt, and this is Fight Society. What's going on, guys? We're back with another video. Finally, not talking about Jon Jones. We're talking about UFC 317. But thank you to all you guys that are running up my Jon Jones videos right now. Welcome to all the new subscribers on the channel. And if you want to support the channel further, click the link down below to become a channel member. $5 a month. You get access to behind the scenes vlogs, bonus content, members only live streams, all that good stuff. But UFC 317 is coming up this weekend. Ilia Topuria versus Charles Oliveira is the biggest possible fight that the UFC has to offer right now, because we did not get Jon Jones versus Tom Aspinall, and we did not get Islam Makhachev versus Ilia Topuria. Now, how did we get here? Ilia Topuria was an absolute stud at 145 pounds. He absolutely dominated Josh Emmett in his only fight in 2023 to get a title shot against Volkanovski. Now, he got Volkanovski coming off of a KO 2 months prior against Islam Makhachev, but he did KO Alexander Volkanovski, and then he KO'd Max Holloway. Probably the most successful year in MMA history, given the name value of the two greatest featherweights that have ever competed in the UFC. Now, Charles Oliveira is 1-1 in his last two. I'd say this is a relatively undeserved title shot, given that Arman Tsarukyan, who beat him, is the backup fighter. Now, I do understand Arman Tsarukyan pulled out the day of or the night before weigh-ins at UFC 311, which bumped him backwards. And now he kind of has to pay this favor back to the UFC to get back in their good graces. But since losing to Arman Tsarukyan, Charles Oliveira beat Michael Chandler in a 5-round decision that did get a little bit hairy towards the end, although he dominated the majority of the fight. This is a star power based title shot for Charles Oliveira, let's be honest. And a matter of circumstances, because if Makhachev stayed at 155, this would be Topuria versus Makhachev. If Tsarukyan didn't pull out at 311, this would probably be Topuria Tsarukyan, to be honest. So, but on the bright side, we have the two biggest stars in the lightweight division, one of them being new to the division and one of them being a mainstay in the division. Now, in terms of the actual breakdown for this fight, we have Ilia Topuria, a very boxing heavy fighter with a lot of KO power, but a ton of grappling prowess, 7 or 8 submissions in his career. But since he's been in the UFC, a lot of knockouts. Now, Charles Oliveira, of course, is an absolute legend of the sport, future Hall of Famer, one of the most exciting title runs in UFC history. Most finishes, most bonuses, most submissions. The list goes on and on for Charles Oliveira. This is the absolute worst possible fight for him. He is not going to be able to shoot takedowns on a, frankly, tiny Ilia Topuria. From a height standpoint, Ilia Topuria is tiny for this weight class. He's bulky, he's thick, he's strong, but he's tiny. Oliveira is not going to be able to shoot in on the hips. It's going to be easy for him to close the distance and work his Muay Thai clinch with the elbows and the knees, possibly pull guard, but Ilia Topuria is one of the most well-rounded fighters I've ever seen, and Oliveira takes a lot of damage. Charles Oliveira and Ilia Topuria are both so incredibly well-rounded, but Topuria is so dangerous, and Oliveira plays a very risky game of getting almost finished in every fight. Poirier let him off the hook. Michael Chandler let him off the hook. Justin Gaethje let him off the hook. Makhachev did not, and I don't think Ilia Topuria will either. Now, the way that this fight plays out, I think is going to be a very aggressive start from both, like a clash at the center of the octagon. I believe that Charles Oliveira is going to try and wrestle a lot early in the fight, it's not going to pay off. Topuria will be able to separate. I don't think double leg takedowns are a good idea for Charles Oliveira at all in this fight. Like I said, the height difference, it's going to be really hard to get to the hips and get leverage on a shorter, bulkier Topuria. This is going to be a game of Muay Thai clinch and kickboxing for Charles Oliveira. Whereas Ilia Topuria can kind of take the fight anywhere as long as he protects himself on the ground. He can't go and double leg himself into a guillotine, get caught in a triangle, let Charles Oliveira take his back during a scramble. It's a scary game to play with Charles Oliveira. And it's a scary game to play with Ilia Topuria. This is one of the most high-level fights we ever seen. Now, what I think is going to happen, Oliveira is going to try to wrestle early. Topuria is going to separate. I think Topuria is going to land a devastating shot late first round, early second round. That's going to crumble Oliveira. I could honestly see Charles Oliveira getting backed up to the fence from Topuria. Overhand, body shot, overhand. Oliveira hits the deck, follow-up shots, TKO. Ilia Topuria, late first round, early second round, and a new champion. Honestly, that's my prediction. Oliveira is going to be outmuscled and possibly outskilled, which is a crazy thing to say in a Charles Oliveira fight. Ilia Topuria, late round 1, early round 2, drops Oliveira, ground and pound TKO. That's what I'm thinking. New champion. He's going to try to go up to 170 and fight Makhachev, or Makhachev's going to come back down. After the Madalena fight, we'll see. But that is my official prediction for Charles Oliveira versus Ilia Topuria at UFC 317. Early round drop and TKO for Ilia Topuria. Let me know your thoughts down below. Did you like this video? Then like and subscribe down below. I also do multiple live streams per week, along with behind the scenes content and members only live streams for our channel members. So become a channel member for access to bonus content. It's only $5 per month and it greatly helps the channel's growth. I also do a podcast with my best friend Bo, and I have a non-MMA channel as well called Wyatt's World. You can check both of those out linked below.